Hey everyone, Kana once again, and welcome back to the next episode review. And now we're back with season three now of Oshinoko. Season three of Oshinoko, which I've enjoyed the series since it first came out. Season one was great. Season two has been better, especially with the whole story arc of them doing this whole them doing the whole play and everything, and then when season two ended with Ruby, now she's gone dark has gone dark, and now with her thing is set on revenge now. So that was the way to, and that's by the end it showed their father. So it was great. So now I was looking forward to seeing what season three would do. So, and the first episode impressions, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first episode of season three. So now taking place afterwards, it's 6 months. It's 6 months afterwards. Um, the band that Ruby, Mim, and Kana are doing. Um, it's been improved. It's been improved a lot. They've become successful hits, and with Aqua, he's been doing like TV shows and even like a talk. It was a talk show he was doing. I think it was, and so he's been improving a lot on his skills and his business. And since they said he was gonna go, he wants to go out with Akane for real. So which they have, in which at the same time Akane, she's been busy, which she's been doing film work as well. So they both had busy schedules. So there was a time where they were talking on the phone. So when we get free time, right? It's like, oh, maybe the 23rd and 29th we'll get free days with each other. But it's nice to see that Akane has been improved so much, since when the first time I saw her in the first season, when she was being cyberbullied to the point of the brink of suicide, until Aqua saved her. So she's definitely been improved a lot for her too. So she's been not all that bothered at all. She's been improved as a star. So and overall they all been doing pretty well. But and we see, and of course the and back with the Ruby, they've been the people have been noticing the changes in her. She hasn't been acting like the purely innocent looking girl that she was before, right? Well, because and she's been like say that she's been more calculated and a little more um well, they say calculated, but there was another word for it though. They were using as well. Yeah, of course, because they say that they see that the sudden change in her. Well, because like I said, ever since she discovered the body of that doctor, which that was Aqua reincarnated beforehand, so she just that just snapped and just turned the light switch. Now she's like basically like a completely different person because now you see with the pupils now they are totally black now, no longer white. So you can say Sky probably could say you can say black ruby or dark ruby. I would say better I'll go ahead and say black ruby because yeah, she's not the same cheerful, sweet, and innocent looking she always was, but she's still doing it. But she's like now it's like more of a dark facade behind it. So and the whole thing with the most of the whole thing focus on with Kana because Mim has been noticing that with Kana, she hasn't also been herself because she's been a little bit more just focused on thinking about Aqua because now he thinks that Kana likes Aqua and so it's like he's like he's been like been avoiding me yeah, on business stuff though, but as of late he thinks that he's been avoiding me like a plague. And it's now the whole thing with between the relationship between Aqua and Kana, because Mem goes now he goes and sees Aqua, and so now of course we know with Aqua the whole thing is like, yeah, he still wants revenge, right? But at the same time he's also insecure about his own feelings because yeah, despite he's going out him going out with Akane, he's like it's not a true love date, right? He's just going out with her. He wants to try to do like any try normal person would do though, but it's not fully true love though. So and he's been insecure about his feelings overall, especially as he's been so set on trying to do revenge, which he thought he was gonna give up on that, right? And then Mem goes and tells him, you know, hey, you know, are you just leading? You're just leading on, and you know the whole thing with Aqua with Kana. But he goes and makes a good point that because like he's like you don't need to do that because I know what's going on with Kana and it's like I know what he knows he knows what's leading into between him and Kana though but he brings but he goes and brings to the point where okay suppose if we do go out and suppose if someone takes a picture, a paparazzi, you know, and leaks it online, and so and with someone you know who's basically a fan because cause now he's talking from experience what happened with his mom, right? You know, what if someone that just goes and takes a picture and that leaks online, and then somehow some crazed fan over who loves Kana that much, right, wants to just go up and just go and probably out of just pure freaking crazy love wants to kill her, you know, and what's gonna happen then, right? So he brings up a very valid point where he's just like, you know, hey, because he knows what the situation with Kong because he's just pointing out the scenario. What if that's gonna end up what happened to his mom is gonna probably gonna end up the same thing. What's gonna happen to Kana? That's why he's probably not he's hasn't fully on been seeing Kana because if it does, all it takes is a single picture, and that's that, you know. So recalling from his own experience, you know, and then Mem's going to say like, well, gee, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was just maybe it's him with his feelings the whole time, you know. Maybe it's not just me that's been trying to been you know thinking about this. So yeah, he does bring up a good point though. So that's why he knows about the situation of Khan, but it's like he's afraid that it's gonna end up like in the same scenario what happened with So because all it takes like a one paparazzi or a fan or a snap a picture and then that's gonna be like the end of it. So and then going back with Ruby because we see her because Aqua he's on the show that he's doing right, and then all of a sudden he gets surprised that his sister is like doing like an interview with people. What do you think of Aqua and all that stuff? It's like, hey, how you doing? And Aqua's like, oh, which some people are surprised, like, oh wow, he has a cute sister. You know, he can do all that. And it was the guy, and first it was the guy he was talking to from before in the second season where okay, it was she came to me and pitched the idea, you know, and it's like, hey, it's like probably good for good for publicity in TV ratings and all that stuff, right? But Aqua was kind of surprised that it was Ruby's idea because that's not like her style at all. Though. And the guy I forgot the guy's name though who works with Aqua is like, you know, it is kind of she has been a little bit different. You know, she's like I said more calculated and stuff like that. So and yeah, which she has been because like I said, she is now she's of the same because now she's now I would say Black Ruby you can say because she's now going dark. She's doing what's the plan to, now? The plan to take revenge now, and it ends with her just like this white this creepy. I don't want to say creepy because she's walking and when it's in the evening she's walking. You see her just smiling with her black pupils, right? Black star pupils, and she goes and approaches the guy which was he was the guy who was in charge of the Strawberry Productions with him and his wife, which he goes and leaves. Right, he's been gone for some time now. For a he's been gone for a decade, you know, and so he's just sitting there looking all miserable with like the beard going out, just fishing in this pond, and so it was Ichiko is the guy's was the guy's name, who was the wife of the husband of the girl of the woman who's been taking care of Aqua and Ruby, raising them after the mom died, right? So yeah, so she goes and Ruby goes and tracks him down. It's like, hey, did you catch anything? So yeah, this is gonna be a little bit. Gonna be a little bit of the Black Ruby arc because now with like her is the which is her spine with the black pupils, right? Is she's not gonna be like you know, like Aqua, who's been looking all sad and depressed with filled with revenge all the time. She's gonna be probably walking around with a smile on her face, looking one revenge the whole time, you know. So, but yeah, but this episode, the first episode of season three, has been great. You know, I really did enjoy. I enjoyed the second season. Well, first season I enjoyed a lot. Second season I thought would prove better more the first season, and but it's still early to tell. See if this third will be better than the second season. But to me, I'm not sure though, because I'm sure there's gonna be people saying that, so this is the third season, and probably still more in the manga though. Maybe it's like maybe you think it's a four season thing though, but people are gonna say people who read the manga is before they read the watch the series, the anime series, right? So, well, not me, because I never read the manga beforehand, so I always like to go watching the series beforehand, like watching blind, because I want to be surprised by certain moments. So if it's like, oh, this is shit, like that, right? But if I read the manga, sometimes I'll read the manga beforehand, but most of the times I don't. But it's the people who reads the manga first before the show comes out. I'm sure probably the people are gonna say, "Oh, this isn't right," and all that stuff. There's more to it, or if it does end, they say, "Oh, this ending sucks," and all that. I'm sure there could probably be some people they're gonna be like that though, but for me though, since I haven't read the manga, I'm like, you know what? If it ends the way it is, I'll at least say it's fine, or I will come out and say that I didn't. The ending was crappy. All this was for nothing. All this build up was for nothing. I'll be the first to say it though. But a lot of times, a lot of times what I don't like is I don't like when it ends with cliffhangers and then a series doesn't. They don't do a follow up, like the show is canceled. They don't, or they don't do another continuation. I've seen plenty of shows that just ended on a cliffhanger and then never gets followed up with that. That's what I don't like though. But if it ends the way it is, at least it didn't end on a cliffhanger that still did need a continuation. They don't do though. But I'll be fine if the ending. I'll say if it's good or bad though. But most time I'm fine with the end, wherever how it ends. So, like if I'm talking about other shows though. So we'll have to wait and see. It's too early to tell though for me though. But I'll still season three. I'm looking forward to seeing more. So, and more of the Black Ruby arc, and then see more with the whole thing going on with I'm sure it's gonna be focused on more like on the relationship between with Kana and Aqua though. So because like I said, Aqua, he's still insecure about his feelings and stuff like that. So, but we'll see what it goes though. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time. Later.